I always do this right before I'm supposed to be in bed. I should have been in bed a long time ago, but and I'm really tired, just as my eyes are going all over the place. But anyway, um, the nighttime is like the hardest time because my mind just starts racing. But anyway, so that's why I make these videos. So I've gotten a lot of requests for talking about spirituality and mental health. Um, that's a huge topic, and I wanted to talk a little bit about it today. There's a lot of debates around it. There's a lot of questions. Some things we may not understand, but here's one thing that I'm learning, right? So, there is a war for our souls. There's a war for our minds, for our children, for our purpose. The enemy is out to get us. He's out to kill us. The Bible says that he came to kill, steal, and destroy. To kill, steal, yeah, to kill, steal, and destroy. And so that's his purpose. So he is trying to kill us, right? So he uses. Sometimes mental health is not caused by the enemy. Sometimes what he'll do is he'll use any open door. So the enemy will come in when you have a mental illness, when you have, for instance, a chemical imbalance that's causing depression, and he'll use that to make you to harass you with thoughts. He'll use that to harass you with, like, oh, I'm not good enough, or what I call like meta depression, when you're depressed about being depressed. Or if you have schizophrenia, sometimes those voices are the voice of the enemy, or the enemy will use that and say, to speak in an audible voice, or to get you really confused, really anxious. And here's the problem, is that a lot of times, the enemy will make us have thoughts. And don't get me wrong, because see, our job is to control those thoughts. We have to take those thoughts captive. But we'll get a thought in our head, I should just kill myself. I should do this. I should do that. And if we really think about it, we don't really want to kill ourselves. We don't really want to hurt ourselves. We don't want to do these things. The enemy wants us to kill ourselves. The enemy wants us to hurt ourselves. And so he'll put these thoughts in our head, and he'll put it in the first person. I'm trying to think of the word. The first person. So he'll make you think that, because I used to experience this, oh, I should just do this, that, and the third. It's like, but when I think about it, that's not really me. But it's just a suggestion. And that's why we have to take all the thoughts captive. The Bible says, take every thought captive. Every thought that rises itself against the knowledge of Christ, take it down and make it obedient. So as a Christian, if I'm having these thoughts, and they are normal and they do happen, and it's not always from the enemy, because sometimes, we're in severe pain, and suicide honestly seems like an option sometimes for people, or self-harm, or, just, and if you've never experienced it, you wouldn't understand, but it takes a lot of pain for someone to want to do something like that. Some people say it's selfish, some people say it's a coward way out, but honestly, it's not easy to deal with mental illness, or to deal with just things in general, Anyway, if you are feeling, to the point where you're suicidal or wanting to hurt yourself, definitely call a hotline, call a friend, get some help, But getting back to what I was saying, a lot of times those thoughts are not really from us. So, seek your heart, search your heart, search your mind, allow God to speak to you, and speak to God. I've been doing that lately. I'm a prayer warrior. I better be talking to God. But no, I mean, sometimes we forget to pray for ourselves, and it's so important, especially when you're going through stuff like this. Um, you know, it's refreshing. It can be refreshing, and it's like sometimes that's all God wants. Sometimes God's just waiting for us to talk to Him. I mean, the Bible says, you don't have because you don't ask. So sometimes we just need to have a really real conversation with God about what we're going through, and be like, God, just give me this strength. Like for me, today was actually a pretty good day. Yesterday wasn't such a great day, but I prayed my way through it, and at the end of the day, I was like, wow, I made it. I have my good days and bad days. Everybody does, I guess. But yeah, at the end of the day, there is a war for our lives, and we have to fight. And again, I reiterate, don't try to do it alone. If you're having those thoughts, it's hard sometimes to reach out because you feel like you don't want to burden people. You don't want to give those thoughts more power than they should. But if you're going through it, man, get help. If you're my friend, reach out to me. Okay? If you don't know me or don't want to talk to me, that's cool. Reach out to a pastor. Reach out to a friend. Some people, they say, a lot of people, they don't want to be a burden. And trust me, I know, because I've been told numerous times that I'm a burden. I actually got sat down in my school once and in college, and they were like, you're not allowed to talk to your friends about what you're going through because you're a burden. Do you know how painful that is when you're going through enough? When you're going through such severe, depression or pain, and then to be told you're not allowed to talk about it? So it hurt to feel like I was a burden, and so sometimes I don't want to talk to people. Oh, everybody's got their own problems, and some people will tell you you're a burden. They will try to tell you that. But the thing is, like, ultimately, as a friend, speaking to the friends of people that are depressed, would you rather your friend burden you with the information of depression or anxiety or mental illness, or would you rather be burdened by them possibly killing themselves or hurting themselves? And no, it's not your fault, because, when someone does that, that's their choice. But what I'm saying is, it's better to reach out and get help than to act on impulses or thoughts. And the thing is, sometimes the best thing you can do is just be honest with someone. That's the best way to get help sometimes, because if you're always having those thoughts, if you keep having those thoughts, you're not necessarily going to act on them, but they overwhelm you. And then you get to a point where you just start feeling hopeless or overwhelmed, and, why suffer in silence? So if someone is coming to you, and they're going through it, just try to be there for them. Just try to listen. Put yourself to the side for a little while. God will repay you for that, for taking the time to listen to someone. And if there's no one to talk to, you can call 888-692-9355. That's a 24-hour hotline, NYC Well. I'm sure you've seen the ads everywhere. Seriously, reach out. Or you can text them at 65173. Text WELL to 65173. Or you can chat with them at... I don't remember the chat. I think it's nyc.gov/nycwell. I'm pretty sure that's the website. And then you can click on, get help now. There's also the National Suicide Prevention Lifeline, which is 1-800-273-8255. So don't suffer in silence, because then the thoughts take over and they can win. And we don't want them to win. Good luck. God bless. Good night.